Samus Metroid.
Yeah.
Seamus Airman.
She is 6'3" made of muscle.
Yeah.
She has a metal suit. Okay.
To protect the outside from her, yes.
To protect the outside from her.
Yes, correct.
Quentin here. I'm fine, babe.
This is Ethan. I'm gonna go. Don't worry, Devon's here. This is time. Let's rock and roll!
Welcome to the Power Up Brothers podcast, Cowpoke. Howdy, y'all. Welcome.
That was pretty good,
This
actually.
is a podcast where we all
got-
talk like hillbillies and cowboys.
Cowboys.
You
Yeehaw.
got me with that cowpoke. That was pretty good.
That's the whole goal. Listen, guys, that's a secret. The whole goal of the opening thing is to just make one of us laugh.
Just get a laugh.
Just to get a laugh out of
Because
one
we
of
can't make you guys laugh. We've accepted
now they
that.
know
Fail
how many.
99% of the time.
Yeah, now they
Yeah.
know how much of a failure it usually is.
Yeah, I was about to say.
We've got producer Harrison in his new spot.
my God.
I'm pointing at him right now.
glory.
The prison we keep.
Yeah.
Ethan can see his directions now.
I do look
Yeah.
like I'm streaming from like a Russian basement.
Worse. You're
Don't
straight
give
from
away
Power
our-
Up Brothers podcast.
Don't give away our location.
Yeah,
Just thanks for
they
They
doxing
treat me
us.
well. They give me food and water.
Yeah,
We don't.
We don't.
Hey,
Don't
get
lie.
rid of those scurrilous accusations. We don't feed.
We are not bound
Yeah.
by the Geneva Conventions
No.
because we never signed them.
Yeah, what you
No.
can't see is the bars in front of him.
Yeah.
The steel bars.
You guys don't
Yeah.
know this. Harrison lives there.
They
They're
don't.
right out of shot.
They don't see the cuffs around my
Yeah,
ankles.
they can't see the chains coming out of your butt.
Yeah,
There you go.
it's
That's
got
how
to
we
be
keep
more
him there.
comfortable though, right? Because the
Yeah.
wall's not right up against you. You
I-
really like your new spot, don't
yes,
you, Harrison?
I really enjoy my new spot.
Your new
Yay!
Also,
all that works.
tiny
brand
closet.
new,
dash,
brand
dash,
new
dash,
to the podcast. We have a guest tonight on the podcast. Quentin's shoulders. Everybody give
I
him a round of
know.
applause.
Yeah.
Hey, thank you so
Look
much.
at Quentin's shoulders.
Quentin's shoulders.
And your
showed
shoulders.
up.
Oh, that's another round of applause. Yeah, my shoulders.
And
yeah.
people know that that's a picture of Mario now, and not just a small
Yeah,
blue
the
Glare
picture.
is obscuring it, and they still don't. Yay.
I honestly,
these are-
I honestly thought you were talking about the jacket Quinn's wearing, and not.
I
the
thought about
camera
that for a
position.
second, but you weren't
Yeah.
here with me and
Yeah.
Ethan adjusting
No, it was a
everything
disaster. It was a
constantly.
disaster.
I'm
Yeah.
gonna be honest. I still think that poster is Bob Hoskins, and I'm in the
It
room
is.
with
It
it.
is.
It is.
is.
They can't see the face. It is.
It's Mario.
Guys, it's 2026,
Oh my god.
and
I turned to dust immediately.
everything's great. Everything's
That's
really
great.
wonderful. I don't watch the news.
Game prices are dropping drastically,
Yeah.
and they just moved up the launch
We
of the
haven't-
PS6.
See, this is what happens when we haven't done the news in like 6
Yeah.
episodes. Everything's fine.
We're just guessing. Yeah,
Everything's fine.
Everything's way better.
You know what we replaced the news with? What's up?
Well, you're supposed to mute us.
It's gonna be so funny.
I mean, you know, that was.
Guys, do you like what you see here?
Nope.
The first thing you should do if you do is seek immediate professional help. And the second thing is subscribe, like, click that notification icon, all the things all your least favorite YouTubers are always begging you for. But there's a reason they beg. It's called the algorithm, and we're desperate to appease it like our angry god. We will make sacrifices, and one of us will die. But we will get to the top of. We will become
45 seconds. Whoa.
One of us will die, but
Yeah.
it'll be tied.
Yeah.
It'll definitely be done.
It's gonna be me.
Subscribe. We're only
I made
getting
the real-
worse.
I made the real sacrifice.
I wanna throw it to Ty because Ethan, did you remember your what's up or anything?
No, I'm good.
Yeah. Harrison, what's up?
I made a poor financial decision.
Oh
recently.
no.
No, what's
Can
new?
we
Harrison?
see you
What's
while
new?
you describe
Yeah, can we see
this?
you?
Yeah.
No,
Don't just talk about what the same thing that happens every week.
I bought a Switch 2.
Oh, my God.
Yay! Harrison's
Yeah.
one of us.
What a
One
great
of
time.
us.
And
One of
I
us.
immediately regret it
Oh,
because
perfect.
I got Mario Kart World, and I'm like, this is fun, but I don't have anything else.
Yeah, you basically have a one game console.
I bought it and then immediately started playing Deltarune.
Oh,
On it?
Yeah.
As much
Yeah,
of
all
a
the stuff.
fan
good.
of Breath of the Wild as you are, you should replay it with
Yeah, you
I-
should dive in.
So fun fact, I lost my copy of Breath of the Wild.
You know, there's
Oh.
so
It's
Harrison
only been
instead,
17 years since
That-
it came out.
instead
rough.
of playing it on the Nintendo Switch 2, you could play it on a different device, which I know can definitely run it and can run it with mods.
An Xbox. Yeah.
Yes.
That is technically correct.
Technically, yeah,
That is
you're
technically
right.
correct.
Yeah.
So
Just 'cause
if you'd like
everything
some
is-
help with that, there might be someone around who can help you get that set up, and you
Maybe.
can play
Maybe.
a beautiful.
No one we know.
he doesn't have to.
There's a beautiful mod. Look it up on
Definitely not
YouTube.
Gwen.
Look it up on YouTube.com.
Yeah,
okay?
Quinn will help you. He'll call
Forward
me.
slash or backslash?
Yeah.
//
Forward
He's
slash.
not
Okay.
sure.
I
So-
backslashed
No
it
one's
just
sure.
now. Got to a very different website.
On
Yeah, it was
YouTube.com,
bad.
a big shout out to the Second Wind mod team.
I
I
honestly
do
have-
like second one.
They have a brilliant mod. It adds so much content. You have the Ordon Village in the Second Wind mod. I mean, it's brilliant, really great.
I honestly thought you were going to say shout out to the small website YouTube.
Shout out to
Shout out to the small website.
YouTube.com.
Shout out to YouTube.
Small indie company.
Thanks for being here. So how do you like Mario Kart World as a single player experience?
It's fine, but sometimes I'm playing and I'm just like it's just like I could just be playing Mario Kart 8.
Mhm.
Like
Really, even in the open world and stuff. Have you done the?
I've done a little bit of the
world?
open world, but like I don't know, there's not really a lot. I don't know. It's not hooking me yet.
You could
hasn't
get
hooked
here's
you yet.
here's the thing. You can get Donkey Kong, which is incredible.
Yep.
You could get Metroid. Don't believe what everyone, including me, says about it. No, I really love it. You could get another Switch 2 game.
Mhm.
Oh yeah, there's lots of them. Split Fiction, I've heard, is pretty good.
I totally, speaking of the Nintendo Switch 2, I totally forgot
trying
that
to think of
that I
exclusive.
actually do have a
exclusives.
video game to talk about. So,
Oh.
you can do your little topic, but I
Oh,
actually do
okay.
have a video game to talk about. So,
But yeah,
I'm just not
the
No,
thing
Donkey Kong
is,
Bonanza.
I'm not
really
a big
fun.
Metroid person. I've never
Have you
I've
played a
like
Metroid?
I've played like 5 minutes of like Super Metroid, I think.
oh,
he's not a
And
Metroid
why
person,
is,
but
why
he's
is
also
he the
never played
editor?
Metroid.
Why is he here?
What are you
Get rid of
because
him.
talking about?
Somebody's
got to
run all this
person.
Get rid
stuff.
of him.
You don't know.
No,
you don't know. That's like being straight. You don't know.
I mean, like,
No,
here's the
I
people
gave it a
say
shot.
that.
I gave it 5 minutes, and I was like, "This isn't for me."
You've
like-
never been in
I-
love with a man.
here's the.
How are you supposed to know?
I don't even
This
know
is-
what Gwen's talking about.
I feel
I
that
don't-
we have drifted.
I
Yeah, we've
don't love Metroid. I'm not a fan.
So
Play a Metroid game, then you can know.
I feel like the Switch 2 though is perfect for like your line of work, like
It's true.
Mm.
right, like
Which we're not going to say what is.
I'm not
Yeah.
going to say what is, but
Prostitute.
I'm just saying that like
can-
Tyler really loved his Switch
no one,
One.
no one knows who the hell you're talking about. What this is? Can you believe?
So
this?
Harrison, report back to us once you've played
Yeah.
Donkey Kong Bonanza.
We have lots of inside jokes here on the Power Up Brothers podcast, and all of them drive Quentin insane.
they're not inside jokes.
If
You're just talking about people
inside information
that our
If-
beautiful patrons have no idea what you're talking
If
about.
you guys would like to
Know our
to know
addresses.
more about our addresses, our friends, become a Patreon subscriber, and we'll tell you anything you want to know.
Yeah, we'll dox all of
You
our
know
We'll
how-
dox
you know how
everything
hard
about
it is
it.
to keep this operation afloat.
Yes,
he
I
literally
do.
does.
Yes, I do.
He literally does.
So did you have
His
a what's
time
up?
and my money.
It's true. Ty has
don't.
funded.
I don't have a what's up.
Oh, okay.
He doesn't have a
Quentin,
what's up.
Quentin, what's up, brother?
Metroid
Oh,
Prime 4.
Never heard of it.
Oh,
Metroid
that's
Prime
what
4.
reminded you.
Right.
Of your...
Let me tell you something
What's it
about
I've only
make
played
you?
5 minutes of it.
Metroid Prime 4.
Yeah.
Echoes of the Shadow, or something.
Yeah, correct.
I don't
Right.
remember what the last sort of like
You
what
got
the
it.
subtitle of that is.
It's the word beyond.
Beyond the subtitle.
Same as your favorite Star Trek movie.
Star Trek Beyond the subtitle.
Yeah,
The point is
Right.
Samus Metroid.
yeah.
Seamus Airman.
She is 6'3"
Mm-hmm.
made of muscle.
Yeah.
She has a metal suit. Okay.
To protect the outside from her, yes.
To protect the outside from
Yes,
her
correct.
and to protect me. Okay.
Right.
It's failing at
Because
that,
let me tell you
'cause I-
something. I played Zero Mission,
Mm-hmm.
right? They had to rush me to the hospital.
Oh,
give me
right.
some things to affect my blood pressure. All right? Get that get that taken care of.
Right.
Yeah.
They
The
said
zero suit just did you in.
They said it's been 4
He
hours.
didn't get that far.
All right. It's been 4 hours. You have to stop playing Metroid.
Right.
I still hold to that rule.
Oh.
Okay.
Oh, 4
because
hours. Once
you've seen under the suit, doesn't matter if the suit's on. I know what it's like when it's off. All right.
true.
And when it's off, I'm frightened.
Right.
Okay.
Not when it's on and she has a gun.
To be clear, the blood pressure problem wasn't what you thought. It was a fear issue. All right.
okay.
I see.
I thought my head was going to pop.
That's
Yeah.
usually your reaction when you're attracted to someone. It's
I
intense
mean,
fear.
That's usually your reaction when you see a woman.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean,
intense
she's
fear.
6'3", probably about 6'6" with that suit on.
Yep.
Okay,
Right.
it's great. She's sort of, a mutant, right?
People who are 6'3" are
So
not mutants.
so the thing is that she's about 50% bird, right?
Nope.
Metroid Samus.
Nope.
Kinda.
She's one half nice bird, one half bad bird, right? Okay. In that,
You need a quarter.
to be
those.
clear,
That's
I
a
mean,
whole lot of birds.
That's a lot of bird.
yeah, and so she's a bird,
Yeah.
right?
She is part
Sure.
bird.
Are the
Who
Chozos
here-
birds?
I
Yeah,
don't know
they're birds.
I don't know the ratios. How did you wait a minute? How did you not know they were birds?
They're birds.
I mean,
They
He's only
have
played 5 minutes of
beaks
Super
and
Metroid.
weird claw hands.
I
here's
mean,
the thing. Not everything with a beak is
seen
a
the-
bird. A squid isn't a
except
bird.
for the
They
fact
have
of
feathers.
the very first off,
They do
I
have
don't know.
feathers.
and also
They
the
have, like, scales.
no, they have feathers. All of you,
No,
Ty, we're leaving this podcast.
They have
You
feathers.
two, you have been excommunicated from the video game fan base.
I'll accept
Isn't one
that.
of them literally named Ravenbeak?
Yes,
He's
that is
called
correct.
Raven.
That is
But-
correct.
And they're also called the bird people.
Yeah, they are called
Federation
the
files
bird
before they
people.
were-
Yeah.
were noted.
That
so.
doesn't mean they're literally birds, though.
That does.
But I think it
does
justifies
mean
Quentin's
that.
use of the word
It
bird.
does mean
It does.
that.
No, I'll give it to you.
Anyway,
We've litigated it. You can continue now.
You-
You may
I don't
continue
believe this.
calling
I've
them birds.
successfully
I don't even
hijacked your
believe this.
topic.
Who
Joke's
here?
on you.
You've
Oh,
beaten.
you forgot
it.
Fox.
You've beaten it. Have you beaten?
I've not beaten
Prime
it yet,
4? Have
not
you played
I
Prime
haven't- I
4?
have not played it.
Do you know what Metroid is?
I know what a Metroid is. Yeah.
Right.
Metroid Prime
one.
4.
Do you know
Beyond
what a
the
Metroid
Veil.
is? Because you've been calling her Metroid Samus. This whole
Samus
time.
Metroid.
Samus
Oh,
Metroid.
thank you.
Okay.
Okay, he's got it right.
Yeah,
now.
he's got it
Let's
right.
go.
Yeah,
Full,
he's got it
full
right.
legal name is
Right.
Samus.
Right.
Samus
It's
M. Metroid.
Samus M. Metroid.
I like how you're calling her it like
She's the
she's a
original M,
monster.
yeah.
She is a
She's
monster.
yeah,
M
no, she's
stands
the
for
other
mommy.
M.
I once drew a picture of Samus. I can send it potentially,
No.
so you can see.
God.
I drew a great picture of
I
Samus
don't want
back.
Have you blocked?
Nobody wants
You know.
that. Yeah.
You can't send it.
No.
You can't send it.
I'm gonna say right now,
Right.
without any spoilers,
Okay.
Yeah.
that Metroid Prime 4
Mhm.
was very disappointing.
Aw.
Mm.
It was very disappointing. Now, mind you, when you're in the levels,
Right.
they're pretty good. If you like the Prime 3 sort of linear levels where there's effectively no exploration, you
Mm,
basically just
pretty much.
backtrack and you can find every single item that's in a stage very, very easily
Yep.
without any searching. So if you're okay with the Prime 3 stages, that's fine. I think most people would say the Prime 1 and 2, especially 2, are the best.
Mhm.
Because they're kind of more open.
Sure.
You can kind of see what's going on. So that, that's fine. It's not my preference, but it's good. Okay.
Yeah.
The open world aspects are horrible. They're horrible, and you have to interact with them. You can't just use them to go between points.
Yeah.
You have to collect
only at
green
the end
crystals.
of the game,
And it's
which is the moment when
you
it
and
wasn't good
because
anymore. Yeah.
you go through the whole game going like, okay, well, there's these little spots that you can go to, but it's just a bunch of nothing in between them.
Right.
Yeah.
They throw enemies at you, but the combat that's on the motorcycle is hold down the button, right? And then it auto locks onto these things and
Right.
Mhm.
takes them out.
Right.
So combat's not difficult, but it is because it's mostly automated. So it's basically
Yeah.
just like, okay, I now have to hold the button down.
Right.
Complete waste of time. And then, like Ty said, at the end of the game, you have to collect
It is
some green
the
crystals.
only defense I have for it is it takes less time than people think it does. It's a very small
Yeah.
portion of the percentage of the game.
I've spent very little
well,
time in
that
the
is
open area.
dependent entirely on how many green crystals you've collected beforehand. Because the point is that again, this has nothing to do with the plot, but there's like a coin jar essentially.
Yes.
You have a piggy bank,
You're
right?
filling up
Yeah.
that piggy bank.
You're filling up a piggy bank, and so you have a amount of crystals
You only
that
have
you
to
have
get
to
it half
put in.
full.
But if you don't fill it up at all,
Yeah. Like some people.
then you have to go and collect crystals for an hour to try and get it all filled up.
The boss battles were absolute fire, though.
The boss battles were good.
The boss battles.
There's one in
are some of the best
particular.
in the series.
I like
There's
how
one in
Ty
particular that's
didn't
really
have a
great.
what's up. So
I'm just having to defend my lady.
you could have.
Well,
Yeah, you
but,
could have joined.
I have had a what's up, but
No, I think
that
it was
doesn't.
about Metroid Prime.
Go ahead, Harrison. Give us another
Just
what's
give
up.
us
A
extra
combined
time.
Metroid
Yeah.
Prime
Well,
4. What's
yeah,
up?
So-
but it was a question.
No, go for it. Go for it.
Well,
We're good to go.
So we were talking earlier. There's been an interview with some employees around the creation of Metroid Prime.
Yeah,
And they
Infamitsu.
had said that there was no budget increase when it got extended.
Right.
I had been a big defender of like this was a good decision by Nintendo to, if they saw that Metroid Prime 4 wasn't doing well, extend it out and try to make a better game.
Right.
But if they didn't increase the budget,
I think
And-
technically they said there was no significance.
Yeah, they
Yeah. I think they just reset
didn't-
it
A lot
to
of
its
them were saying
original.
like this is not a fully different game. This is just a
They
modified.
didn't actually
No.
restart.
They didn't
This
restart.
is what whoever, probably Bandai, was making the game.
the original
this is what
vision.
they made. Yeah.
Right.
What we're seeing is that like basically I see like two kinds of conversations around this game. Either people really disappointed in it,
Yeah.
or people saying, it's good, but it's the worst of the Prime games. Like it's the lowest on the tier list of Prime games. So like that's the range of the discussion about Prime 4.
Yeah.
And this was a game that was failing, and then what did they do? Did they restart? Did they like give it a second wind, or did they just extend the deadline and bring in Rare? Or Retro.
Retro.
If only.
It has a whole bunch
um,
of contractors in the end
Yeah.
credits, and that told me like, they kind of patched certain. That's why certain parts of it are peak, and then
Yeah.
other parts feel vacuous. Is that they divvied up tasks clearly
Okay,
between.
sure. But my point is
people.
that this is the most anticipated game in human history. Don't divvy up tasks. Okay?
I mean,
and also
yeah.
you had 8 years.
Yeah.
They had more
of,
than 8
of
years
time to put
because-
into this. Okay,
Isn't it now more
Go-
than 8 years?
No, it got
it's-
announced
No,
8 years ago.
Technically, Retro
But-
took back over in 2019.
Yes.
So
Yes.
it was
6
about
years.
a little over or a little
So-
under 6 years, I guess.
Yeah, and COVID happened, and so
Sure,
there's
So the issue here is that they
Yeah.
put an open world in, and you know
Yeah.
that they just did that because they're like, well, Breath of the
Well,
Wild
yeah.
has open world, everything else has open world. Metroid needs
no,
to have
I don't
open
think
world.
I don't think that was
It's
the
horrible.
motivation. It's an open area, but I don't think that they went for like
I'd be willing to bet that open area was the only thing that was already done when Retro started working on the game.
Yeah.
Everything else is
Mhm.
so polished
Yep.
Yeah.
and so carefully put together.
Yeah.
And then the open area, my defense of the open area is you don't actually spend that much time there, but there's not a whole lot to it. It is very
the only
kind
reason
of
that I say
vacuous.
that it doesn't feel like that they were going for open world is because you have the mechanic of the bike
Yeah.
that they use so far that I've been playing. They use in a few other spots.
Yeah.
And like the open world is not at all designed for you to walk.
It's not an open
It's just
world.
a playground for
It's
the bike.
it's a classic sandbox.
Literally.
mechanic.
Right.
I mean, but it's also literally a desert, and it's visually boring.
Right,
Okay, but the thing is, though, is that it's boring to traverse, but there's also like nothing in it, right? You have essentially shrines where it's like, in Breath of the Wild, you have these shrines, and you have to use certain methods to solve the puzzle inside, right?
There's
but
not very many of
But there's
those.
like 5 of them. It's not even like Breath of the Wild.
Most of the
where
content
there's
in
like
this
a-
game is in the regions.
Yes.
And
Why not just make it regions?
The regions look are visually fantastic.
Yeah.
Volt Forge
Very
is such
stunning.
a cool region.
All of them look great.
Yeah.
But here's the question. So why?
The Fury Green's music
Fury
is like,
Green's music is incredible.
All of the music
The-
is incredible.
But if you fundamentally if you're stepping into a project that's not working and you go like, hey, we need to restart this by lowering the scope and doing a few things really great.
Yeah.
Instead, it seems like they tried to keep a lot from the failing project and bring in contractors to patch up things. And
Well, they
this
said
is
it
the
was
kind of
it was a
this-
quality issue. The
Yeah.
team couldn't deliver the quality that they knew, and so they gave it to a team that can deliver.
But then when we
quality.
talk about Metroid Prime 4, the conversation is about how it has inconsistent quality. The boss fights, amazing. The open world section, boring, right? Every discussion that I hear about Metroid Prime, no one's saying flawless masterpiece, right? Everyone's saying like, there are things I love about it that might be the best in the series, but there are things that are just bad by any game standard. And it feels like if you started a game over because it wasn't living up to quality, they might just not have done enough.
Sure.
Like, yeah, I mean, I think that if this had another year of development, they could have made the pretty.
Why not just make another game?
No, but I think it also has to do with a monetary thing. But I am hopeful because I think that the parts of it that are so good prove that Retro still has a lot of talent and can make these games. I think when you hear the story about the development of this game, it's a miracle that it even came out. And I'm hopeful that they continue the series, and I would be very confident in the next one. So long as we don't have a delay and it take 8 years.
Well, and I will say, the thing is that you're completely right about the boss fights, the music. I mean, I think it's on par with just everything else. The music in all of those games are, I think, equally good.
I haven't beaten it like you guys have, but where I'm at in the game, it's been flawless. Like, I mean, it's like a 10 out of 10 game. I felt like a kid again playing it. Like,
I mean,
some of the moments are just absolutely.
It does recapture the magic in a lot of the moments.
And
especially
my take on it so far in playing it is that it, like, and I have sort of the advantage that I just played through a bunch of other Metroid Prime games. Is that like I recently beat Remastered when it came out. I was playing through 2 when Prime 4 came out. And about a little under a year ago, I just booted up my Wii U and played through Metroid Prime 3 because it's easily the shortest of all of them. And so for me, playing 4, it is literally just picking up. It feels very natural to go from 3 to 4. Like, it doesn't feel jarring. It's not like they made a game that's nothing like Metroid Prime, but, you know, or doesn't continue with any of the ideas from 3. They literally made Prime 4. And so I do think that a lot of the discussion, not what you guys are talking about, but a lot of the discussion around Prime 4 is indicative of the fact that, like, if Prime 4 came out on the Wii U a few years after, like the exact game that it is now, I think it would be lauded as much better. Whereas just the climate that we're in right now produces this idea.
I mean, you're talking about like the toxic effect of hype and like
less of the toxic effect. I mean, like where the industry is at right now versus like where it was when Metroid Prime had its momentum.
I don't know. If I compare this one to the previous 3 games, I think I'd have the same opinion about it that I do. The same time period.
I don't mean you guys. I mean that a lot of the discussion about it being this like thunderous disappointment of a game is like it's there. You guys are describing elements that didn't connect with you personally, but like people are like, this is just not like up to. It's not even on the same level as the other Metroid Prime games, and unless something like horrible happens later in the game, I'm like, it has maybe the best opening of any Metroid Prime game.
Its opening is great.
I mean, like I always say, if you have 10 years, or in this case, close to 10 years, because it was like, it was announced 8. Remember?
Announced 8.
It was announced 8 years, so people were waiting 8 years for this thing.
Right.
If you take that long to make it, it will never live up to it.
Right. Oh,
it can't.
No.
There is one game that had a very, very, very long time that it was announced and then it disappeared into the ether, which is Metroid Dread.
Yeah.
Okay. You know, Metroid Dread.
We're also in the age of Silk Song, which was
that's a whole different
most
beast.
anticipated game of ever.
But that game doesn't have
several stores.
It doesn't have a turbulent development cycle. It just had developers who were still making a lot of money off their last.
I would like to say
my point was that we had this. This is the thing is that I said like, hey, they revived Metroid Prime. And then they realized it wasn't living up to the expectations. And this is their shot to get things off the ground again. And they need to stick this shot. I'm okay waiting longer for a really great game.
Right.
But we waited longer for a Prime game that even the people who really like it rank it really low. Like it's ranked real low on their list. They're like, it's not a serious contender for 3rd place. It's just good. Even people who like it, it's good. But they're like, the other Prime games are just much better.
Yeah.
Well,
to say like we restarted it and then we kind of like we scored, but we didn't score hard, right?
Yeah.
Is pretty disappointing. Like, even if it's not bad, that's a little bit of a disappointment.
Well, the
Yeah.
worst. I mean,
it's
the worst.
inconsistent.
The worst part of it, beyond any of it, because you know, you can say like, is that the subtitle? I still don't know.
Yeah,
Subtitle.
Beyond the issues of like, oh well, you know, it's got this open world that's ugly or so on and so forth. My biggest problem with it is that I think that it has the worst story by far of any of them. And I mean, I don't even think it's a competition. The trope that this series has gotten, where it's like, you've got to scan things to figure out what's going on, right?
Yeah.
This is the single worst one possible. I mean, it's worse than the first one with the scanning, because the first one, you know, it was like you had to scan a lot of stuff, and that was annoying. But you can make out what the plot is of key events.
You can
in any of these
the most
games.
basic sense. Yes, you'll miss every possible detail.
It's very hard to understand what the last boss is if you haven't scanned anything.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean,
I think with Prime 4, what I would say is that you've got this very shallow main plot that you can follow. Not shallow and bad, but very simple main plot that you can follow. And if there is a different, much deeper story happening if you scan everything.
No, what I mean
You're talking
is
about Prime 1.
No.
No,
you just described Prime 1.
No. What I mean is that I could describe to you without remembering anything from a
Guys, welcome
from a
to the
scan.
Metroid Prime 4 podcast.
I could describe the plot line of those first three games without remembering anything that was in a scanner.
Yeah.
If I did not scan a certain thing, I could not tell you anything about how we got from Federation Force to Metroid Prime 4. I could not explain it to
There's
you
a lot more moving parts.
in the slightest.
It's a sequel,
They
yeah.
have a full game which abridges these, and the only continuation that you see in that trailer, right? You see in the trailer, Psylux comes through and he's got these odd-looking Metroids. I should be able to say, like, oh, well, through the game, with nothing else to be said about it, I just know. I should know what happens between what occurred between that. That would be great.
This is a Metroid Prime game.
Yeah,
you don't even know
is-
if you don't scan. You don't even see the words Metroid Prime in the first game.
That's
all right?
actually true.
Okay, sure.
You don't know
even
what that
see-
thing
Yeah,
is.
what is that thing?
Point is that I would say this is the single most egregious example. Also, the main plot is too similar to Metroid Prime 2. So
It's a mishmash of 2
Well,
and 3.
I'm gonna, for the sake of time, because this literally we have proven that we can talk about Metroid forever because we all love it.
You all can talk forever.
especially when it's disappointing.
How dare you predict? I'll shorten mine a little bit. So, guys, it's 2026. The Power Up Brothers are still going strong. We started in 2024.
I'm struggling.
I say I am not going strong. Are you kidding?
None of them supported me on that.
This
We're
is
going
gin in this
strong,
cup.
baby. No,
We are on our last leg.
yeah.
Yeah.
I want to talk just a little bit about our predictions. I'll start, and then just very briefly, we'll all give our predictions. And
our non-Metroid Prime related.
our non-Metroid.
Yeah.
I mean, you can mention it if you want
Metroid Prime DLC.
to. What do you guys think is going to be? Because we've got like 2 months, less than 2 months before the impending February Nintendo Direct.
Yeah.
What do you guys think Nintendo's 20? Because right now we know Mario Tennis.
Yeah.
We know like a few Nintendo Switch 2 versions, like updates, like Mario Wonder that looks dope.
Yeah.
But we don't know anything else. So, do you think that the February Nintendo Direct is going to be a bombshell? And if so, what's going to be in it? I'll go first. No, I think 3D Mario is gonna come slam dunk and be like, "Yo, this summer, here it comes." Because 3D Mario has the reputation. I don't know if you guys remember, because 2017 was 8 years ago. Good lord. But they announced Mario Odyssey like at the Switch preview event. I think they said it was called Odyssey. And then his hat has eyes all of a sudden. We didn't know anything else until June. And then in June, we got like the full idea of what the game was, the capture mechanic, actual real gameplay. And then they were like, by the way, it comes out in 4 months. At Donkey Kong Bonanza was the same way. We didn't know anything about it. And they were like, by the way, it comes out next month. So I think we'll at least get a tease for the next 3D Mario.
Okay.
That'll be the big bombshell.
My prediction is that it will open with an NSO update.
Right.
Okay. It will be that they are adding the Pokewalker to NSO. it will not work, and then it will be a black screen for the following 45 minutes.
I say, I don't know if
good.
you ever used the Pokewalker.
Yeah.
Yep, it will not
That's
work.
pretty good.
But you open it, and it brings up the Pokewalker's little screen.
And then it just shuts off.
Well,
I've got my Virtual Boy pre-ordered, and as soon as it comes in, it's going to be right here. I'm going to play it on the podcast.
I should order that.
I think
You should.
I want a Virtual Boy.
I think we are going to be getting more information about Splatoon 4. That's my big prediction.
Yep.
I think that this direct will probably open with Splatoon 4, and then I think it will probably about right toward the end we'll have the Mario announcement.
Yeah.
I think that's pretty obvious, but my prediction is
By
in the first
Splatoon
half,
4, do you mean a sequel to Splatoon 3 or the Splatoon spin-off they teased?
This I think would be the sequel to 3.
To 3.
There are 3 Splatoon games?
There are 3.
Yeah, believe it or
The third one is the
what
best one.
Spin-off.
It's going to be like an action adventure shooter.
Yeah,
This is going to be like the single player.
Yeah.
I think
It's
that
Splatoon Combat Evolved.
I think 4 won't have a single player the way that the last ones have had.
Interesting. Yeah.
You think they're splitting the multiplayer?
But
and
Splatoon was on the Wii U,
It was, yeah.
and then there was a Splatoon 2 on the Switch.
Yep.
Sure.
There was
What
a
was
Splatoon, a Splatoon
There's
2
2
and a
and
Splatoon
3.
3.
On the Switch?
Yep.
Both on Switch.
And
Why would
now,
there be 2 on the Switch?
On Switch 2, you can play Splatoon 3 in 4K. 60
Are you-
Splatoon
frames.
2 came out very early in the Switch.
2017.
And they just
Yeah.
they didn't just update it. You're telling me they sold these Rubes Splatoon 2 times on the same console?
We don't
Splatoon's
call
a
them
great
rubes, we
game.
call them little children.
Yes.
I
That's sick.
I think we'll probably get an update about Fire Emblem, but I don't think we'll see anything new on that front.
Like
Yeah.
Engage 2.
I
Yes.
Like a new
The
trailer,
sequel.
maybe.
So
what about
I-
you, Ty? What's your
I'm
take?
going the opposite direction of Ethan. I think Fire Emblem is going to be a headliner in February.
Fire Emblem Arena or whatever it's called?
Fire Emblem Fortune's Weave.
They already
Weave.
announced
Yeah,
a
they
Fire
already did.
Emblem. That's
Yeah.
the one
It'll be
that's.
there, but-
I think it'll be a big part of it. I think Devon's crazy about 3D Mario. As much as I want to believe
Not even a
it's true,
tease?
as much as I want to
Yeah.
believe it's
Yeah.
true,
Yeah.
Isn't that new Fire Emblem the game the one that's racist? Right?
they're all racist.
Yeah, I
Correct.
think it's
Yeah,
spoiler
it's
alert.
really
It's
Fire
just
Emblem.
kind of the thing
Spoiler
about
alert, they're all
it's kind of the
racist.
thing
It
about
is in the racist Fire
It's-
Emblem
yeah,
world.
it's like set.
Right.
It's set in Arabia, but it's all tropes,
It
right?
is- well, no, it's in the world. It's in the world
I heard about
where Lady Hitler wanted to destroy all the dragon people.
Oh, no.
But now you have to
cleanse
fight.
the bloodlines.
You have to fight in like
But
a
you-
Sultan's
you
game
think-
to get a
you
wish
I
from
think
a
it's
genie.
I think it's going to be there. I think it's going to be a big one. I think we're going to see more about the Dusk Bloods in
we haven't heard
February.
anything about that.
I think that as far as a big new surprise announcement, I do think Ethan might be on something with Splatoon. I do think that there's a possibility they split Splatoon. I think we'll probably see more about the spinoff, and we might get like a little hint of a Splatoon 4.
Yeah, something
Yeah,
like
it's
that.
just a CG.
My wild, out of left field prediction. All right, you all ready for this? Is we'll see something Zelda related.
Yeah, I was thinking maybe we would see something.
And
like
I
a
think
Maybe
that
not
this-
like a full game.
Not
but like
maybe not a
Link's
full
Awakening
game or
remake.
reveal, but here's the thing: Echoes of Wisdom is a little over a year old. I mean, in February it'll be. When did it come out? In March or April? It's going to be coming
We
up
were
on
in a
2.
log cabin when it came out.
Yeah,
I forgot
it's going to
it
be.
came
It's
out.
going to be
Were
coming
we
out.
really?
Yeah.
Last
Yeah.
October.
Yeah.
We were
well,
in
not
Wintergreen?
last October.
we
The
started
October
playing.
prior.
Yeah.
Oh.
October
So-
2024.
October
So
2024.
it's getting up
Yeah.
there. And Nintendo very consistently releases something Zelda related about every 2 years.
Yeah.
Now their main line games, as we've much lamented, take
Right.
forever to come out. But
Yeah.
they usually release either a remake, one of their 2D top-down games, or a
They did
a
just
sequel.
release Hyrule Warriors, though.
Yeah.
They did release Hyrule Warriors.
No,
That is true.
actually, Zelda has a release every year.
Yeah,
Typically.
that's actually
Yeah.
true. But I meant, I
If you
guess I
count
meant
spin-offs.
like main Zelda titles. But yes,
Yeah.
including spin-offs, they release something generally
Pretty much
about every year.
Yep.
But I think we're going to see something Zelda related. I don't think it's going to be that situation where it comes out immediately. I think because Zeldas tend to get teased well before they come out. You know,
Yeah.
What I hope
So,
that we
that's my
get
prediction.
from the direct,
Right.
What I hope we get out of it
Other than the Pokemon
is the drive to just stop forgiving these people. Just stop forgiving these
Right.
people. Nintendo is like, yeah, it's fine. We're just going to be racist today. We're going to be racist and we're going to promote degeneracy in our games.
But we forgive you
Good.
for the same
Yeah, we
reason.
I was
forgive-
gonna say,
yeah.
when my patience
Quentin-
with you
Quentin's
and my patience
projecting.
with Nintendo are forever interlinked, and the moment I can no
Thank
longer forgive
God.
them, I am going to kill you.
That's fair. That's
I'm going to
fair.
toss it to you guys.
Um,
Audience, what's up? Oh, no, Harrison.
Yeah.
What's your prediction for the Direct?
My prediction is that it won't be good. We haven't had a good Nintendo Direct since 2017. But
How did Harrison have the hottest take
Only
in the
bold
room?
takes on that.
I think that Deltarune Chapter 5 will be there because they entered the localization translation phase earlier this month.
Oh.
By February, it'll probably be closer. We'll probably get a release date.
Yeah.
Maybe same day. I don't know.
Let's all agree though on one game that is blacklisted that's definitely not going to be there. A game we all know won't be there.
Okay.
Anything Smash Bros. We're not
no.
seeing a Smash Bros.
Sakurai
Unless
just
it's
finished.
unless
Kirby.
it's the Switch
on the
2
lam.
version of
that's
Smash
possible.
Bros.
It
A
could
Switch
be
2
Well,
update.
and I also
Yeah.
don't
Yeah.
think that they're going to announce Balatro 3.
Oh,
No, they won't.
probably not.
That's
When
also
they announce
something I
Smash
think we can
Bros in February, we should just for that podcast episode, afterwards, we should just smash cut to us saying it's not going to be there.
Yeah, exactly. Every time.
Do you think they'll
every time.
release
not worried
Silk
about
Songs
that.
DLC?
That's
they
never
just
coming out.
hot
That's
drop
never
it? Yeah,
happening.
it's
No, that's
they're
never
gonna make it
happening.
its own game.
Now I'll throw it to the comments. What's up with you guys? How are you feeling about 2026?
What are your predictions?
What are your
for
predictions?
the February
what do you
Nintendo
think is going to
Direct?
be in the February?
How do
Nintendo
you
Direct?
feel about the fact that that seems sick?
You don't have to
That
tell us
seems
that.
sick
That-
to me.
You can keep your opinions on that.
What do you guys think about the fact that I'm rapidly approaching 40? Good
You know what?
jokester.
You know what? I think Ty's about to be 40, and this podcast is about to be topic of the week. Guys, if you want to support a little baby channel like us, you can head over to patreon.com/powerupbrothers and become our Power Up Pal. And if you do that, you don't just get special videos, you also get to have your topics read here on the podcast. We'll talk about your topics because I bet you they're more interesting than ours.
They are definitely
There's
better
no
than
way they could be
ours.
less.
But you know what?
They
So
all
far,
have been thus far.
so far they've been better.
Even if you don't want to be our Power Up Pal, you can still be one of our Power Up peeps. The most important thing is to just subscribe. That's what helps us out.
All
the
right,
most.
now we're going to
Helps out.
read.
I'm acting like there's more than one in
We're
here.
going to read.
But there isn't one. I already know what's in here. It's from our good friend, OMEGAOMLET.
Oh my god,
He's our pal. Omega says this. You guys ready?
ready.
He says, growing up, the first console I played were the PS2 and the Wii. The first generational jump I experienced was to the Wii U and Xbox One. However, I didn't notice the jump in visual quality, and it left me feeling disappointed. What was the first major console visual improvement that you noticed, and the first one that you didn't?
That's a good.
That's a really good
that's a good
topic.
question.
Also, Omega, thanks for your description.
I'm
Yeah.
almost.
I like when the
I'm
pals
rapidly
give more.
approaching 40, and so I'll answer
You've
this
said
first.
this. Yeah, you've said this.
My first video game console was an Atari 2600, and the first one that I owned was a Super Nintendo.
Okay.
And so generational jumps used to be huge. You know, when I went from my
Sure.
Super Nintendo to Nintendo 64, it was like I wasn't even playing video games anymore.
I think that
These are
is the
fundamentally
most-
not the same
yeah.
thing. And then Nintendo 64 to PS2. But honestly, the first one that I didn't notice as stark a difference was the jump between Wii to Wii U or PS2 to
So the same
or-
as Omega.
close. I would say
Yeah.
I noticed the PS2 to PS3, but then PS3 to PS4 was not as significant for me.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And so it was around that kind of era, and then every subsequent one has also been pretty less significant.
Mm-hmm.
And it's this idea of diminishing returns, where the number of transistors, I forget what the rule is called,
Moore's Law.
Moore's law, where the number of transistors on a diode will double every how often is it? It's like every 3 years or something. It's like a specific amount of time. The number of transistors will double. But there's an inverse law where like the amount you can do with more power is diminishes. And so we have diminishing returns because we can only make dies so much smaller. We can only get so much more, fidelity.
There's
every
a
jump
physical limitation to how small we can go.
Every jump in fidelity requires an exponential increase in power to maintain it rather than a linear increase. So it always was going to get to that point, and we're well beyond that point now. And so I don't think we'll ever see another graphical jump that will stand out to us. But I do think that Wii to Wii U, or maybe the PS3 to PS4, was the time when I was just like, it's better, but is it that much better?
I don't actually know. I think that the issue is, and no one wants to hear this because, there's ethical concerns with this technology.
Anything
that is a good point, but this even more so, because I'm going to talk about AI, which is that the application of AI as it gets better, right, will be able to replicate the visual, how closely we can render a human and the textures of their skin, how they move, things like that, as it improves. And once it's implemented, the difference between that and very high quality scans, I think, will be drastic, right? Sure. You look at like Death Stranding.
But I don't think that'll happen in one generation. I think it'll happen gradually.
Yeah.
I think that right now, if they implemented high quality AI generation, it would already be a pretty big leap. Because my point is
that
you
can't make $15,000 consoles, so it will still
no. But we're doing cloud streaming and things like that. True. So I don't think that we're going to have to worry about that. I'm saying that if Hideo Kojima, which he won't. He's too pure for this, thank God. Because I'm not advocating for this, but I am saying...
You're just saying it might happen.
I'm saying that if it does happen, the difference would be crazy. Because look at Death Stranding. Incredibly, probably the most complicated, scanning technology for a model in anything as of yet. You can watch a video, right, of the President of the United States saying, really frightening things, and you don't know whether it's his normal frightening things or if it's an AI generation because it looks so real, right? Sure. And that's frightening, right? Yeah. But you put that next to Death Stranding, of course it doesn't look the same.
Right.
You're able to take you're able to take a scan of a human being and, pictures of them and completely animate them. That's a huge leap from scanning someone and creating a character model, right? So imagine if every cinematic, right, in Death Stranding, the models are generated from imagery. That's a big leap. Yeah. I don't like it though. I don't want that leap.
Less of the theoretical leap. What was your first time you noticed the leap? Because you're younger than us.
Yeah. It was definitely like the GameCube, PS2, Dreamcast, to PlayStation 3 and Xbox. I remember as a kid when I would look at the PlayStation 3 games, I didn't understand it. Yeah. And the big one was Uncharted. I really like the Uncharted series for the folks at home. And so I love the Uncharted series, and I also love Metal Gear Solid. And Metal Gear Solid...
No.
I know. So Metal Gear Solid 2, right?
Yep.
As a kid, Metal Gear Solid 2 was significant, right? Because they look like people. Right. I played most of the games I played, like PS2, and that kind of... all of that leading up. They weren't games that really looked like real people. Right. But then Metal Gear Solid 2 really looks like... They look like people. The difference between Metal Gear Solid and Metal Gear Solid 2 and Metal Gear Solid 4, right?
Huge jump.
Massive difference. Like Metal Gear Solid 4, just the lighting is...
Even 3 and 4.
Great. Even 3 and 4. The lighting in 4 is like... makes things look so much better. But 4 has a bit more art style, which I think has made it age better.
Yeah.
But... where they went to try and be more close to a real person is with Uncharted.
Yeah.
It's less stylistic than Metal Gear Solid 4, but it is more realistic in effect because of that. So I remember seeing that and just being like, oh, that's unreal. I can't believe what I'm seeing. Because if you go from the PS2...
But it wasn't in the Unreal Engine.
If you go from the PS2 and you're looking at these little creatures.
Yeah, it's
and
a
then
big
you
jump.
look at Nathan Drake. You're like, yeah, we're
For
never getting
Sony
better than that.
specifically, it was a big jump because the PS2 was the weakest. Well, if you count the Dreamcast, it wasn't, but was the weakest of the three.
Mm-hmm.
And then the PS3 was, I think, more powerful graphically than the 360, or like
It went back and forth. It had a more powerful CPU, but
That's
a
what it
lot
was.
less RAM.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, even with the Xbox, I remember as a kid seeing Gears of War, which I now look back on, and it makes me vomit. It
It's
makes
so
my
bad
eyes
looking,
vomit.
yeah, so bad.
The original Gears of War looks so
It's
bad.
what you're used to.
But
I
it blew me away.
remember seeing an Xbox 360 at Best Buy, and they had NBA 2K, and I remember like being impressed by the fact that I could see like the sweat and pores
Yeah.
on the models.
The
of
NBA, the like sports games will always have the highest fidelity human models because
Yeah.
there's not anything else to render in
It-
there.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
Right.
Well-
what was the first jump you didn't notice?
So PS4 to PS5, that kind of space there.
That's a big
Yeah.
one.
I
yeah.
really the PS4
Because they
and
never
PS5,
released any PS5 games.
Not
well,
really.
the problem was, I remember I was looking at. I'm trying to think of what. Actually, I think Uncharted is exactly it. It was the 4th Uncharted game,
Yeah.
right? And I remember when I played that on my PS4, I thought that was the best looking game I had ever played on a console,
Yeah.
right? Because you get used to like, oh, well, console games, they're just never going to look as good as the stuff that I play on the PC. And that gets kind of the mindset. I started up that game. I've played that game so many times through. Blows me away every time I play it. And you play the collection that's on the PS5 or even on the PC. And I'm just like, I don't really... They did such a good job with that that I'm just like, it's different.
It's not enough of a
It's
jump.
different,
Yeah.
but it's not huge difference.
Mine is going to be a little weird.
Yeah, what's yours?
I'm going to divert the most. So the first time where the first time where I was like
blown away
by the jump was going from the Nintendo 64 to the Sega Dreamcast.
Mm-hmm.
I just like
People don't
I
talk
was
about how
only
big of a jump it
seeing-
is. Yeah.
and I kind of missed out. Like, I know the PlayStation 2 wasn't quite out when the Dreamcast launched. Right?
No.
Like it came out. The
Dreamcast was
first.
99.
Yeah. And it felt like it was
September 9th,
it felt
1999.
like it was in that
I
generation.
thought it was in 98.
No, it was 99.
I'm sorry. I'm just
999.
going to revise my answer real quick. I'm sorry. I was going with Sony and other technologically respectable companies.
Right.
Nintendo has never impressed me since the GameCube. No
Right.
leap has impressed me. The GameCube to the Wii.
Visually, sure.
The GameCube to the Wii looks barely any different.
The Wii is just a GameCube.
The Wii to
Just
the Wii
two taped
U
together.
is a bunch of nothing. Okay,
That was
And
probably
then-
their biggest jump since GameCube.
And of course the Wii U to the Switch, original Switch is next door to nothing. They keep making very incremental leaps. So I'm going to say going back even further, I remember seeing the Wii and just thinking like this is just a GameCube but slimmer.
right.
Well,
so
keep going.
Continue.
So
the N64 to Dreamcast. blew
64
your
to
mind,
Dreamcast absolutely blew me.
Was there a
away.
game specifically?
So it was fighting games that I saw on
Soul
the
Calibur.
Soul
Oh, true.
Calibur and
Soul Calibur
Tekken.
blew my
Like Soul Calibur
mind.
just blew my mind when I
Yeah.
saw it, and I just thought like, man, this is. To be fair, I hadn't really played any fighting games on the Nintendo 64. I got into
Right.
fighting games on the Dreamcast.
There weren't many fighting
and
games
fighting
on the
games
N64.
have like higher polygon counts because you just have two
Just two.
characters.
Same thing Ty was talking
Yeah,
about.
same reason. So I kind of didn't understand at the time. The first time a leap, like I felt disappointed by a leap, is not graphical.
Oh,
It is the leap from PlayStation 2 to PlayStation 3.
interesting.
It is that era. It is going from GameCube to.
I think I know. My answer was going to be
Uh,
similar, and I think I know where you're going.
So
with it.
yeah, it's that I remember playing a lot of PlayStation 2 games like Battlefront,
Yeah.
Star Wars,
Right.
and like between 1 and 2, the scope just kept getting bigger. The scope was
Yeah.
insane in those games.
Yeah.
And I stopped noticing at some point that the characters looked like Legos, right? They
Right,
look
yeah.
like cardboard
Nobody
cutouts
cares.
of
Especially
clone troopers.
Battlefront.
And we used to joke, we would play the episode 3 game and Battlefront 2 back to back, and all the clones look great in episode 3, the video game, and then in Battlefront they look like weird little polygon
because they have to render so many.
And then they'll
of
like
them.
turn and after they kill you, and the camera's focusing on them, and they'll turn and walk away, and then they'll turn into like a little JPEG of themselves far away. Or you'd have the sniper rifle, you'd be looking down.
It was kind of a genius way to
beep, beep, beep.
render.
They look like Mr. Game & Watch, right?
Yeah.
And
It's one of the first games to use that technology. It's really
the
smart.
scale was insane.
Yeah.
And then when we jumped to the PS3, the graphics looked amazing.
Yeah.
And the scale was pulled back. And so,
I know exactly what you mean. Yeah.
Final Fantasy 13 came out on the PS3.
Yeah.
And was and still is an extremely gorgeous looking, an absolute masterpiece. I remember being blown away looking at the graphics of it, and then seeing like,
compare the environments to 12 or even like
sometimes
10.
you can't even rotate the camera.
Yeah.
Because they only want you to look dead ahead because they didn't even finish the models on the things looking backwards.
Yeah.
And I was like, and the scale of how far you could go, like the render distance was way down.
The industry was not ready to go to HD.
Yeah.
It just went to HD.
Did it look better than the Final Fantasy games on the PS2? Absolutely. No.
In some ways, it looked
question.
better than the Final Fantasy game that came after it.
Yeah.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, absolutely. But the scope was so pulled back.
Yeah.
And so I started to feel the disappointment in the console jumps when I could go on my computer and crank the graphics up, and PlayStation 2 Battlefront looked great. Or I could go on my computer and crank the graphics backwards, and those modern games looked bad and ran better. And I started to just think like, why wasn't 13 just a not look as quite as good, but came out on the PS2? You probably could have done more.
Yeah.
And it was like they wanted the screenshots in magazines and websites to look insane.
Yeah.
And they didn't care if when you played the game, it was a hallway.
Right.
And that I feel like we've never even quite gotten all the way on the other side of that in console.
I mean, I don't think that they would.
That's true that we're getting close.
I don't think that the fact that 13 is crappy is because of that, though. That is very much design issue.
But I actually
because
think
there are great games that are the same way, that are just a hallway.
I think Ethan is right, though, because like Final Fantasy was trending toward bigger and bigger worlds, and then for 13, in order to achieve that fidelity, that's part of the reason why they had to make the game so
a big
pinned
world in that.
And then their next game, which was on the subsequent console, doesn't really graphically look any better in a lot of ways, but it's a big open world.
Right.
And so they 16 is I actually like 16 a lot, but it's a bunch of hallways.
It's a little bit of a mix.
Does
it's not
anybody even remember Final Fantasy 16?
I do.
Everybody stopped talking about that 20
you mean
minutes
Devil
after
May
it came
Cry?
out.
Devil May
No
Cry.
one cares about Final
Harrison, what was the
Fantasy
first one that
16?
blew you away and the one that just didn't blow you away?
I think the first one, I mean,
Biggest leap.
Does PlayStation 1 to like PlayStation 2 like that generation count?
Yeah,
I mean, like
any generation.
The fact that like models went from like these like really blocky polygonal shapes to like more smoother models.
Yeah,
right.
More smoother.
Like impressed me.
Yeah.
I also think that handhelds, the jump from Game Boy Advance to DS,
pretty insane. Yeah,
pretty wild.
The idea that like I could play a 3D game portably was like mind blowing in 2006.
Yeah.
Right.
Mario 64 in the palm of my hand. I remember just being like, "What? This is dark magic."
I'm like, it's a console game and it's on a handheld.
Yeah, I was like, "How's this working?"
They'll never do
better.
No, I had the same experience with the PSP.
Yeah,
the PSP.
was great.
We've talked about
so.
Infamously. Me and Devon shared a PSP, and I played it constantly.
Yeah,
would forget to charge it, so on and so forth.
Left the battery off.
Left the battery out of it. That kind of thing.
Playing Monster Hunter on the PSP.
Yes,
that was so much fun.
Dissidia.
I was just
think
about to
most
bring
of
up
us. That's
Dissidia,
where we started with Monster Hunter. Was on PSP.
Well, me and Ethan played Freedom Unite. On the PSP.
Me, Ethan played Freedom 2.
And we would play that together. And like with that, I was literally just like, this is so cool.
Yeah.
And
it's a shame they don't make those games anymore.
It's a shame they don't make those games anymore.
The first time I saw Tigrix on the PSP, I was just like, how did they make this? But Harrison, what was the one that you were just like, meh, when you saw it?
Probably PlayStation 4 to PlayStation 5. I wasn't impressed with PlayStation 3, PlayStation 4. I'm just using the PlayStation as a baseline for these.
No, that's fine. This is your time.
Yeah,
this is your experience. No one can judge you for it.
But but 4 to 5, like I do not see a difference at all.
I don't
see
think
like
there is
comparison
one.
videos,
Yeah.
and it's like there's a little bit, but
It's like little.
It's
It's
that-
like a few pixels on like a jagged line. They
literally
zoomed
that
in
identifies-
on.
blades of grass.
Yeah.
That identifies an interesting point about this whole thing, though, that I wanted to bring up when Quinn was talking about the realism and AI rendering.
Yeah.
Is there's this effect where when you're looking at a video game, right, and a person is rendered and everything else is rendered at the same fidelity, that it all looks real because it all looks real in comparison to each other after staring at it for a minute. It's only when you have like a real person next to a fake person that you're like, wait, that guy doesn't look right, right? And so
Yeah.
video games, if you're staring at them on the PS3 for a while, eventually just look real. And then the PS4 looks, incredible the first time you see it, and then the longer you stare at it, eventually it's just like, it's just normal now, right? Like, and that has always been the case. That was the case back on the N64 when graphics were never going to get any better. Because how are they going to get any better?
Well,
I honestly don't. I do have a hard time, like really remembering Ocarina of Time looking different than Ocarina of Time 3D. In my brain, they kind of always look.
That's
that
the
way.
effect people say it looks the way you remember it looking.
Yeah.
Metroid Prime Remastered might be the best example of that.
Go back and play the original.
I went back to the original and I was like, why did they come to my house and replace it with a disc that looks worse?
Yeah, what did they do?
This is not what it looked like.
It's the quantum effect of releasing a remake changes the past to make the other one look worse.
So for me, my answers are similar to Ethan's, is that I feel like my first experience in like having my mind blown by graphics spoiled me for the future. Because for me, it happened a couple times. It happened first with the Dreamcast, because I'm younger slightly than you guys. So I wasn't really into video games until Mario 64. Some of my earliest memories are playing Mario 64. And so the scope of the game blew me away and made me love video games, because the Super Nintendo was hard and I was scared to play most games if you guys weren't there.
Yeah.
But the N64, that wasn't true. And the games were like huge. So I wasn't focusing on graphics as a 7-year-old. But the first time that I did was I went to my cousin's house, and I had just been playing Mario 64 at home. And I went to my cousin's house and I saw him playing Sonic Adventure in Station Square, and like a person walked by. And I said out loud, graphics will never get better than this. Because I was like, this is a person. That's just a person.
Yeah,
that's Sonic standing next to a real human
being. It's wild
being.
that guy in Station Square you saw would then show up in Mario Odyssey.
Actually, pretty close. Pretty close.
What's really weird is that he looks more realistic than the people in the Sonic movie.
That's
I
sad.
never thought.
That's really sad.
I never thought that looked good.
Well, you're younger than me. You were spoiled.
No,
Mr. iPad.
No, because you realize that you're talking about a game that was on the Dreamcast.
Yeah.
There's so many other games on the Dreamcast that look
so I had multiple times is that I exclaimed that when I was like it'll never look better. But then just a few weeks later we all went to a friend's house and I saw Soul Calibur and I was like, they will never get better than this.
And they never have.
I remember it was Nightmare. Like Nightmare put his sword down and like the eyeball was moving. Yeah. I didn't notice that the background was a JPEG.
No, it
because
matter.
like Nightmare looked insane.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then I think for me the moment where I wasn't just a little kid freaking out that sticks out in my mind was I was at an EB Games. I was still young. I think I was like 10.
Were you in Canada?
No, they used to be in America.
They used to
People
have
kind of
them.
forget.
Yeah.
And I looked up at a TV screen and I thought I was watching a movie. Like I thought it was a movie that they had on. And then I remembered EB Games doesn't sell movies. And I was like, who's just put a movie on? And it was really scary. And I was like, I need to look away because this man's getting chainsawed in the face. And it turns out it was a video. It was Resident Evil 4. And I remember looking at it and I was like, and I was too young to play games like that, but I was like, oh, so video games just look like real life now. I didn't even say like, do my normal exclamation of they will never look better. I was convinced that just like we've hit it.
Yeah.
Like we've hit the point where video games. So that's probably the leap that blew my mind the most was from like N64, Dreamcast-ish to GameCube. To this day, GameCube's like awesome fidelity, that it's held. It has really smooth polygons and really like
Star Fox Adventures, Fox's Fur. How did they do it?
But you know what's funny? The leap that was the least impressive to me, similar to Ethan, except for me it was graphics, was the sixth console generation of the seventh, like PS2 to PS3, really? Xbox to Xbox 360, because I remember everyone around me was freaking out. They were like, whoa. And I remember thinking, like, it looks worse. Like, I could understand that it was higher fidelity, like a higher resolution.
A lot of ugly games.
Depending on the game. I guess I could see that.
Yeah.
If you they went for a lot of photorealistic games that they probably shouldn't.
And when I look back on it now, it was because what's funny is because I had been spoiled by Soul Calibur and graphics never getting any better, I had kind of like this expectation when everyone was like, the next console is HD. It's going to be insane. I was looking for that leap, like me looking at Resident Evil 4. I did not get it. It was like, looking back on that era, it was full of bloom light, which just makes things look washed out and terrible. And like they were spending so much time on one character, like modeling to make sure that one character looked good, that the environments often looked terrible. And I was looking around and I was like, this game, I get that it's better graphics, but it looks worse.
I did actually think we own, like I did think during that age that we owned it like a low quality television. We did not. We had a good one. Yeah. But because I saw Twilight Princess on the GameCube
and it
at
looked
a friend's
better.
house,
Yeah.
and it looked better.
Yeah.
But they did have a nice TV.
Yeah.
And so I just kind of assumed that our TV was just
worse.
Worse.
It's just because we owned a Wii.
It was just because.
Well, actually, to that point, even, I'll be a little critical of Nintendo here.
Wow.
Ish. No, but even the GameCube to the Wii, I remember thinking the Wii has this weird issue that I've only recently learned, where its graphics tend to be very, very pixelated. Like its models have very jagged edges.
Yeah.
It's because it bumped everything up to 480p, even though it really couldn't quite do it. And so I remember watching it as a kid, and my mind was blown by Mario Galaxy when it first came out. But as I played it, I was kind of like, did Sunshine look better? Like, because Sunshine was smoother. Like, some of its models were smoother. It didn't have as many jagged edges.
It had more anti-alias.
So I think that generation was the first one that I just went like... And what's funny is it caused a dip, because then I kind of liked the jump from PS3 to PS4, because I was like, oh, neat. Like the first time I saw Unreal Engine 4, and it like I was coming hot off the heels of A Hat in Time, where it's sort of like, what if we made Wind Waker but bad?
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I was like, I saw Unreal Engine 4, and I was like, oh, HD has finally got art style again, and it finally looks good, and it's not washed out. So I kind of went back up a little bit.
HD has always had art style. It's just you looked at ugly games. Right?
I will say, when you said 13, even back then I was like, oh, good. We're back to like beautiful games.
Because my point is that, again, Metal Gear Solid 4...
You mentioned Gears of War.
Gears of War is ugly.
And I was like, that was the first Xbox 360 game that I saw, and I was just like, this sucks.
Gears
like,
of War is ugly, but you look at Metal Gear Solid 4, and it is a beautiful, beautiful game. Yeah. It's definitely, it's pretty moody.
Oh, I should be more specific. This was esoteric to me. That was the first time that I saw a leap. It was obviously a very narrow view of it.
Even Metal Gear Solid 4 has kind of weird gobo lighting, doesn't it?
It does have weird
lighting. The opening area with I don't know if it's the opening. It's the one where you fight the geckos.
In the desert?
Raiden shows up at the end. That is ugly and boring when in all the magazines and all the clips I've seen. I've now watched you play through it, and I actually think it's a very interesting stage.
Actually, the lighting looks best in that early area, but then when you get into later areas, it still has this kind of like tint to it almost.
I would say that there is one area that I can think of that does not look very good, but I would say most of the areas look pretty good.
To be clear,
as far as the lighting
areas
goes,
look good. There's just a weird
I think that
quality.
The lighting is pretty stylistic in that game, where each area, it seems like they're going for sort of moodily lighting it.
It's like there's always a filter. It's like there's always a filter on the screen.
Yeah.
Well,
is what it looks like to me.
I think Kojima was trying to imitate different kinds of movies with each chapter, and so if you set something in the Middle East, you have to have heat lines. that kind of thing, right? Where it's like,
right.
Because, we have to have an out-of-tune violin and somebody singing in Hebrew, right?
Chanting.
That's real, by the way.
No, I believe it. I saw
just to remind you.
I saw a YouTube short that was really funny. That was like every desert scene in a movie, and it's literally every.
And
desert scene.
So you see that, and that could obviously be off-putting.
Right.
I personally think it's very funny when you see the heat lines and you see some Israeli song to remind you of who's responsible for whatever conflict the game has got.
On that note, before we get too deep in that, Omega, thanks for being our pal and thanks for the question.
Yeah. Great question.
You already kind of said it on the pod, but if you want to say it again and answer the question, we'll pin it to this because that's what we do, folks. If
you also don't have to. It doesn't
picked,
have to be an answer to this. You could.
We'll pin whatever you say.
Whatever you say.
If you say something, we'll pin it.
It's all
that's
yours.
That's a threat.
That's a threat to us. All right.
Let's reach into the less. Well, Harrison, how do we look?
We're looking good.
We're looking
all
good.
right.
Okay.
Let's reach in. I'm going to reach my
filthy, disgusting claw.
Yeah, you can't use two. Pick one.
Filthy claw.
Filthy claw.
Disgusting.
Disgusting claw.
Disgusting bag.
Let's see who it is.
Claw into the disgusting bag.
It's Ethan.
Wow.
Really?
Flavor of the month gaming, the good and the bad.
Ooh.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Okay, I got it.
What does it mean?
Okay,
What does that mean?
I think I can explain what this means.
Yeah, go for it.
Because it's obviously my question, and I should be the one to
go for
explain
it.
what it means.
It's not.
No, I think what Ethan's talking about is those games that come along every once in a while and are like, they're like, you play them for this month, and it's like the greatest thing ever, and then you move on.
Yeah, it's those games like suddenly everyone is playing this game,
and
it's $5, and you need to buy it,
right?
And then you play it for a month, and then everyone forgets about it.
Oh,
and some of them wind up like sticking.
Yeah,
right. Like Lethal Company stuck.
Yeah.
There are still a lot of people playing Lethal Company, and it's still a really good game.
For me, it was kind of a flavor of the month.
Valheim was kind of the
Same.
beginning of these. Valheim kind of started off.
Yeah, I don't know how to tell my friends that I don't like Valheim, and I need
Among Us is probably the biggest. Everyone was playing Among Us.
I've only played Among Us once.
I've played Among Us 3 times. Here's the thing: I have nothing at all. Everything you just mentioned, nothing. Not Lethal Company. That's not real.
Yeah, Quentin hasn't. I think Among Us is the only one.
I've played Among Us.
I'm gonna say I think that this is probably just survivorship bias, but I think it's all good. I think in general, if you just kind of accept that these games are great for the time they're here, and then when they're gone, it's not like a great tragedy or anything. You're just moving on. I don't know that I've played a flavor of the month game that I got like hooked on that like I regretted it. Like I loved playing Among Us for that month in 20.
I'm totally
like ending
in agreement.
a relationship, but on like healthy terms.
Yeah, exactly.
No, but I'm totally in agreement
with
with
the spirit of your question, though, is that I do get what you mean in the sense that I remember when Valheim was getting like into our friend group's like circulation.
Yeah,
and it's lived in some of our friends' circulation for a while. But I remember like feeling like, okay, I'm going to play this because my friends are playing it. It's the flavor of the month. Yeah. But I would put it in the bad, not as a criticism to the game, but to the fact that like I had to play a game that within the first like maybe hour of playing, I was like, I don't like this. Yeah. Like this is boring as all get out. And I just had to keep playing because my friends, I was like, if I just go play Mario Kart, I'll be alone. And so, like,
yes, you will.
Actually, none of my Valheim friends play Mario Kart with me, so maybe I shouldn't feel bad.
Yeah, you shouldn't have felt bad.
Guys, I don't like Valheim. Stop trying to make me play it.
Well,
no, but that's the thing is that like it is one of those things where when all of your friends get into it, it does kind of suck if it's like, dang, I don't like this, but I want to play with my friends.
And there are times when like our experience with Helldivers was that it was an absolutely incredible game for a month. And then as they made changes to the game, we liked it less and less. Yeah. And so that it can kind of leave a bad taste in your mouth there at the end. But what you got to remember is that, we had this incredible month with the game. And I think a flavor of the month game is going to be different for everybody because there's obviously lifelong Valheim or
Of course, yeah.
or Helldivers players.
And Among Us.
Is
Among Us.
Is Helldivers the one that has the line that's like, "Hey, fascist, catch"?
Yeah,
it's
and
like
you
when
throw a grenade. Yeah,
right?
they call the bugs fascists, and what do they call the robots? They call them something else.
Commies? I mean,
In Helldivers, they have different
something like commies.
They have something.
Yeah.
I don't think it's
a
that,
great
but,
line.
but it's really
Flanker.
funny. It's really funny. It's it's all parodic of Starship Troopers,
right.
and so the which itself is a parody of the book Starship Troopers.
Right.
So
Pretty funny.
Which is serious.
The thing about those games is we have a great time with them while they're here. And then the parting, if that's not, if that doesn't like spoil it for you, you just learn to kind of sit back
You
and
said
enjoy.
while
it.
they're
So I
here,
would-
like,
While they're here.
like you
They died.
like you took them out to the shed and shot them.
So here's
Sorry,
the
Helldivers.
thing.
Go.
I agree with
Season's
all of
topic,
that.
yeah.
I think that the bad is different from the quality of the game in this circumstance. It's actually more about timing. So we went through this period where you forced me to download like 15 different games.
I think it was like
played
4.
them once,
Yeah.
and then dropped them immediately.
Yeah.
And it was that there were just too many flavor of the month games all coming out at the same
Yeah.
time, and different friend groups were catching different ones.
COVID really broke us. We
And
were
they
all
were-
just
everything
searching for the
became
next
flavor
thing.
of the
Yeah,
month.
and they
I did
so
fine during
they
COVID.
get
I don't know what
they get into a
'Cause you don't have any
problem.
friends.
I was gonna say I did fine.
Flavor of the month games get into a problem when too many hit your friend group at the same time because
Yeah,
you never
yeah.
get
Because it
enough.
fractures the friend group. Everybody
Well,
goes
yeah.
to a different one.
You ping pong around
Yeah.
between them, where the friend group is like, "Let's play this one. No, let's play this. Let's play
Right,
that." Let's
yeah.
play. And you never play them long enough to have fun with them because even a flavor of the month game, you kind of want to play it at least a few times,
Yeah.
to get it. And the reverse, the other end of the problem is what happened with Helldivers, where it starts off. I started playing Helldivers like this is a flavor of the month game.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna play it with some friends. It's gonna be dumb and fun,
Right.
right? And then the developers change it into something that's less fun, and you don't get that like I enjoyed my time here. It's my time got cut short.
Yeah.
You know, like we were all playing Helldivers and enjoying it, and then they were trying to make it like big air quotes here more difficult.
Yeah.
And their way of difficulty was really just like funneling you into a couple weapons and like making you like play the most boring fighting style to try and like using the most boring weapons
Yeah.
because they're the only ones in the meta and you kind of can't win at the high levels. And so you can't, it's either too easy or boring. And I was like,
Right.
oh, I kind of got cut off. I was
Yeah.
having fun. And I know I wasn't going to be playing this for much longer, but I didn't get to like, it didn't get to like extinguish. It didn't get to just go, it got extinguished, right? It didn't just run out of fuel. Those are the areas for me where like flavor of the month kind of sucks. You don't really get to like enjoy it like you enjoy a snack,
Right.
you know, like you enjoy a bag of chips.
I'm going to just say my final point, which is that the single way that video games are healthy for any human being that is over the age of 7, okay, is if it is an activity that you play with friends. It's a social activity, because if you're sitting around playing Catan alone, it's considered a mental illness. Right. So my point is that when I play a game alone, I feel sick. I feel like I have the flu, right?
Yeah,
but
sure.
and I don't play games with other people.
I was about
right?
to say, that's all you do.
So to be clear,
Guys, we figured out why he hates
We
video
figured out
games.
why
So to be
Gwen's so
clear-
sick all the
Yeah.
time.
say I don't play games with other people. So of course, but that doesn't mean that I don't think that it's the best way, right?
Mhm.
I feel that if you're going to play video games and it be healthy, then play an Among Us, okay? Because if you're sitting around a table with a
social
bunch of
games are great,
friends and
yeah.
you have a deck of cards, you can play cards.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
And you're now playing cards with each other.
Yeah.
And it's just a communal activity. So Among Us, sure.
Sure.
People said you want to play Among Us. I said, I don't know what that is. Okay, I'm unplugged, right? I'm completely unplugged. I don't know. It's just what people say. They say the word Among Us. I didn't know what kind of game it was.
Yeah.
We had maybe like 4 sessions of playing that game that I was a part of, and it was fine.
I played it
Right?
one time. I've literally only played Among Us one time. And like for me, what I run into a lot is that I don't have like a ton of multiplayer games that I'm super into. I have like 1 or 2 at a time. And the issue I always run into is that I'm like impossible to tilt. I've just like I don't get tilted at online video games. But like so often your group of friends will get really tilted if you're playing a game like Marvel Rivals. Like so often I'll be in a friend group and I'll be playing Marvel Rivals and I'm just having fun and there's a topic somewhere floating in the topic bag that I'm amazed hasn't been pulled yet, but it has to do with jank and how back when you were a kid, jank was just something in a game and you were just like, it was kind of part of the fun, but because of updates, we don't want jank anymore. We're like, hey, fix this. And so that little like corner of the gaming industry is kind of gone now. But that's the thing, is that I'll just be playing Marvel Rivals and I'm having a good time. And my friends are like, okay, yeah, if we get a loss on this one, I'm out. And so often my friends will like stop playing Rivals. And I'm like, okay, have a good night, guys. I just literally log back on and keep playing. And so like I have the issue where like very rarely do I have flavor of the months. I'll usually have like one or two. Like right now it's Mario Kart and Marvel Rivals. Like I actually have close to the same amount of time in each, like a little over 110 hours in each. And yeah, so that's the thing, is that like I think flavor of the month is something that I rarely enjoy. Like usually I want to like have been playing it a lot.
Well,
like,
with Overwatch, I got Overwatch because producer Harrison, gifted me Overwatch. He had been playing it and he said, hey, you should really get this game. And I said, not a chance, champion. Okay, not
it wasn't free.
You have fun. You're going to be great at the game. There's no chance I'm buying it.
Yeah.
He said, I'll get it for you so we can play together. And we did. We played Overwatch so much. And me and producer Harrison had a great time with it. We spent so much time. Then a lot of other people started playing it, right? And you're completely right, where it was like, where it had started out, just like something for me and Harrison to do. And it was not particularly competitive, you know.
We did mainly quick play.
That's what we do in Rivals.
You know, it was, you know, nothing too sweaty.
Right.
That changed, and what was funny is that all of my Silver League friends seething constantly. I mean, just seething constantly. Yeah. I don't even know why. The group that I don't even know why they played the game. They were miserable constantly, right?
Yeah.
And it was one of those things where it was like the issue of, and mind you, know, those flames burned out real quick, right? Everybody else was done, and I played the game alone.
Yeah.
Literally, because I played the game alone, but the problem, you know, is
like, I'll acknowledge in Rivals when I'm like with the worst team ever, I'm like, this team literally could not win if there was only one opponent.
With Rivals, I don't like feeling like a product, and at some point you feel like, I'm being paired up against these people with like really bad people against really good people, because these other good people need to get a win because the algorithm wants to keep them in.
Right.
So they've paired me with all these like terrible players.
I mean, I just don't think I ever raged.
Some of us
those terrible players are my friends.
Have broken the algorithm through a series of tactical.
Again, I don't know. Yeah,
I wish I had the patience to. I probably enjoy the game more.
The thing is, though, is that the flavor of the week game does encourage people to just play it for a bit and then drop right out of it.
No, it's not a bad thing.
In some ways, that's totally fine. In other ways, it does lead, I think, some people to burn themselves out very quickly because they will play it like a ton, and then you end up with people who are stressed out in Silver League, right? And you're sitting there in Platinum, and your only strategy is spin around as the hamster, right? and it's just like, I mean, I was literally, I mean, it worked, but the thing is I was around people that they knew that they had been playing at a shorter time, and they were just, you could tell that they were just burning themselves out. They were playing it more than I was, you know, as far as just the hours went in such a short time period. But
to be fair, I mean, there's a lot of psychology with those people.
This is true.
That particular case. I am very similar with like I have a similar thought with like Quinn and Devon.
Yeah.
Like I don't really do flavor of the month. Like I played Overwatch with a group of friends, and then like they moved to Valheim. I played Valheim with them, and then moved to Final Fantasy 14. and that's basically been the only video game I played for like.
And they
4
left you there.
years.
Yeah.
They forgot you there.
Like,
and were
like I just like I play games like I'm like Devon, like I just play games that I find fun, and like when I would with those other games, like I played them because I was having fun with friends.
Right.
When the friends left, I stopped having fun. But with Final Fantasy 14, I just found it to be fun.
Yeah.
So I just stuck around.
Oh yeah,
and
well, exactly. Yeah, that's exactly what it was with Overwatch. When Harrison stopped playing it and all the others, which me and Harrison kept playing for a little while after everybody else dropped off. But eventually Harrison stopped playing it, and I just kept playing Overwatch because I was fine with it. So clearly, for me, it was not a flavor of the month.
Yeah,
it was something that I played for several years, and
I feel like it's kind of like sports. You'll have a sport that you love to play no matter what. But then if your friend is like, "You want to play volleyball?" It's like I would never play that on my own. But if all my friends are playing,
I think a good flavor of the month game too should be cheap, like real cheap. Within like
Overwatch was free.
Overwatch free.
No, it
Marvel
doesn't.
Rivals
It doesn't
free.
sting nearly as bad when it doesn't cost anything.
Like I have my like gripes with some of the stuff in Marvel Rivals. Kind of the balancing has kind of been wacky.
Oh yeah,
but
it's the jankiest
it's free.
hero
So
shooter,
when someone's like, "Hey, we should play Marvel Rivals,"
right?
Yeah, let's play some Marvel Rivals.
Yeah.
It's also different when it's like a game like when I got Lethal Company, it was $10.
Yeah,
I got way more than $10.
You guys
out of
bought
it, and
Lethal Company for and here's the thing: Lethal Company is maybe the best example of flavor of the month because I would play that tomorrow. Like it's just a cool
super
concept.
fun game. Yeah.
But it's arcadey.
But there are some game of the month or flavor of the month. Like one of my issues more with like Helldivers was it was kind of expensive when it came out.
Yeah,
like when we got it, it was closer to like a AAA pricing. And then to only get like 3 months of gameplay out of it before they kind of nerfed all of our favorite weapons and they kind of unbalanced the difficulty in weird ways. It had this massive drop off. We actually have a podcast episode where we talk about the gigantic drop off of
it was early
players.
In the pod too.
Yeah. That stings worse when you're like, I can't even go back to my favorite game. It's not even like we played it a short amount of time and I paid a lot of money for this. I paid a lot of money for this and now we played it a short time and now I can't even go back.
Right. That's
worst game.
That's
of
the
worst.
Month. Yeah. Well, and the other thing about it too, the pork rinds of the flavor of the month game is Minecraft. Yeah. Because you're like, as you're eating it, you're kind of like, I don't really remember why I like this, and then just keep shoveling it into your mouth. And then every year or so, like eventually, you just see a bag laying around. And you're like, why not? That's Minecraft. Is that you're just like, oh hey guys, you want to play Minecraft? Just like, oh yeah, why not? Randomly, I was just like on game chat with a couple of friends, and we were like, what should we play? Because we just got done playing some GameCube games and some Mario Kart, and they were like, do you guys have Minecraft? And I was like. It's like asking if someone has their license. Like, yes, of course. And if not, I have a government-issued ID. So it's like...
You want to play Uno on the Xbox? I don't have Uno. It came with your Xbox.
Exactly, right. So, So, flavor of the week. Good topic, Ethan. Yeah. Good topic.
Very good.
Guys?
Well, if you like what we do here on the Power Up Brothers podcast, you can hit the subscribe button, but also you can hit the bell icon. And if you hit the bell icon, you'll get notifications if that's something you're interested in. But more important than subscribing to the channel, which does nothing for us. It's useless. Don't even do it.
I'm laughing. I wonder if Quentin can not look into the viewing monitor. We have a viewing monitor now, guys.
Yeah, and I'm looking.
And if you're wondering why Quentin's not looking into the camera,
I'm looking right
at
it. I'm looking at me. Right?
Yeah, he's looking at himself.
This
like
is what
a lizard.
He's like a cat.
This is what I do in the mirror when I give myself the subscriber sting.
He has the same setup in his room. He has a TV with just a camera.
Runs all the time.
Why is he doing the subscriber thing?
I don't know.
We already did it.
I don't know.
Patreon.com/PowerUpBros.
Now he's on Patreon.
Go to the Patreon account.
If you guys are somehow still here, thank you guys for being here.
Thank you.
Give us money. And you can give us questions. Come on, do it. Thanks for being here.
But if you're still here, put an old TV down there for that moment that gaming was like, evolving and changing, and a lot of the reason that graphics would never look any better is because it was on a fuzzy CRT.
That's
and
true.
I couldn't really see it.
fun and whimsy in the world, and you go like, "Oh, things are improving."
Yeah.
exactly.
Remember when we had hope? Put an old TV in the comments.
And you
Put an old TV down there.
And you can also put your cash tag, and we can send you money requests.
Please don't do that.
We can do that.
Quinn's just trying to. He just found out that he can't get to any of the Patreon money, and he's trying to get something
Just
else.
put it in there.
Guys, thank you so much for being here.
So much for being
2026 is the year of the Power Up Brothers. I'm calling it right now. Here we go. I'm setting expectations real high.
A year of doom and misery.
It's gonna be rough.
We'll see you guys next
Give us
week.
money.
Bye-bye.
Give us money.
Bye-bye.
Give us money.
Bye.